What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome. This is a very special edition of the 9x9 live from Volleyball Nations League Ottawa. My name's Rob St. Clair. That is Everett DeLorme. And it is Thursday, day 3 of VNL Volleyball Nations League, week 1 on the men's side. 3 matches today. We got a nice, healthy break in between matches 1 and 2.
Yes.
So we've got 2 more matches coming up later, but we already had one this morning with, thousands and thousands of high school kids or middle school kids in attendance.
Middle
Very
school.
cool.
I think there's middle school kids, there's high school kids. It was packed. The energy in here was awesome.
It was great. They loved the players.
They did love the players. They were lining up to get autographs. They were all about it. And this was Germany against Argentina, right? So usually the draw there for Canadian kids, not much, but still, they were all about it. It was great. Also great for me. I got to see a lot of my friends who are now teachers. So yeah, good morning. Like an 11 a.m. game. It actually works well, I guess, for the European time zones.
True. That helps.
Like you can get like kind of that late afternoon European match, and yeah, it was good fun. Unfortunately, no, the children are not sticking around. They're already gone, as you can see behind us. It is
There's
empty.
nothing.
It is an empty stadium, except for Andrea Gianni, who's sitting just below us.
Hey, Coach.
Maybe he'll be nice and come up and join us. I doubt it, but we can wish. But yeah, it was a great match between Germany and Argentina.
Very good match, and it was interesting because we talked about last night after Argentina lost to Poland 3-0 that if they couldn't put more pressure on, just in many ways, that their side-out offense needed to improve a little.
Yeah,
and it did
more than a little.
And then they needed to figure out some other breakpoint method, either blocks, aces, or transition offense. Usually their thing as a team is transition offense.
100%.
And then on the other side, Germany, we were like, wow, that performance against Canada the other night was about as good as they can possibly play. Can they sustain that?
And they couldn't. They came back down to earth after that one.
They did. So yeah. Argentina wins the match 3-1. They beat Germany, and huge for both teams really, because Argentina, if they start 0-2, that's big trouble.
That is big trouble.
And Germany looked like they looked unbeatable against Canada the other night, and they looked really similarly good in the first set. They won it 25-18, and they earned 22 of their 25 points.
Yeah,
it was a
great.
I think it was 16 kills, 4 blocks, and 3 aces, maybe, or something like 22 aces.
2 aces, yeah.
It was very impressive, and Argentina had to do something to take control back in the match, and somehow they did. I don't really even know what it was exactly, but they just started controlling the pace, and then the things that Argentina's good at started to show up.
I think they changed around their blocking a little bit. I noticed that Bruno was really getting to the outside, especially on Frome. They had matched those 2 guys up just so that Sanchez wasn't getting completely blown apart. But I also think that Germany wasn't in the position to put as much pressure offensively, especially in transition, because Argentina's pressure was really strong. It was strong from the baseline. They were serving well a day with a bunch of aces from them. They were blocking super well. They were digging well. Like Donani finished the match with 11 digs. So yeah, Argentina just really upped their game, but on the other side, it just Weber wasn't as lights out. Frome only ended the match with 8 points. So definitely the German roster just has come back to earth a little bit.
And the biggest thing for me was the match against Canada the other night. Every ball that Christian Frome swung at was not meant to go in the court.
No.
He was just hand-seeking the entire match, and every single swing he took found fingertips and deflected out of bounds. It was crazy how much success he had with that. And in the first set this morning, it was the same. He was every single ball was going at the fingertips, and almost all of them were scoring for Germany somehow. And then that really was the turning point to me. It was kind of a tactical change for the way Argentina was blocking against Frome, but I think they just kind of figured him out blocking-wise, and then every single one of Frome's swings was either a stuff block or an easily slowed down ball into Argentina's transition. That really changed things.
I think part of it is that when we saw Canada the other night, they're read blocking, and they're getting used to read blocking, right? So there's a lot of kind of indecision there and maybe a little bit late on the play. Whereas for Argentina, I was noticing that Lima was setting up a little bit more outside, and he was getting there, and they were really focusing on Frome and shutting him down that way. And it was a little bit more structured instead of just the read blocking we saw from Canada.
Right. 10 stuff blocks for Argentina.
Yeah,
That's
they
a
were big at the
number.
Net, big at the net in this one.
Big number, and I'm pretty sure they were 0 in set number 1. So like 10 blocks in the 3 sets that they won was really, really impressive. Plus 6 service aces. Their ace to error ratio yesterday against Poland was horrible.
Yeah,
it's like 1 ace to like 15 errors. Today 6 to 12.
Oh, that's real good.
Real good.
That's real good. When I'm looking at these blocking stats, you get 10 or 2 for Lozère, 2 for Armoa, 2 for Lima, 2 for Palacios. You're really allowed, like everyone is they're blocking on either wings, they're blocking down the middle. So it's just collectively a great team blocking day for Argentina.
Agustin Lozère, 13 points, 8 kills, 2 blocks, 3 aces.
Dude's a menace.
How good is that?
Dude's a menace. And I mean, we saw how good his serving is. I literally just posted a clip of him like putting it right in the pocket on Frome. And
he literally caught the ball.
Yeah, literally caught the ball. And it was a bit of a floater too. Like he hits it flat even though it's a spin serve. So he just gives so many looks. I really enjoy watching him play in person. This is the first time I'm getting to see him play in person. I was just telling you, he kind of reminds me of Graham Vigrass. He's not as physical as Graham Vigrass, but he's longer. And I think he's maybe a slight bit athletic. Sorry, Graham.
He's faster than Graham for sure.
And when he's on top of the ball, he's like his swing is so fast and efficient, and he has the ability to cut either way. And he's really something else.
Yeah, very, very impressed by him. I mean, he's 1.93 meters on the roster. And that's what it says. I think that's underselling him a little bit, but he's not a big middle. But that Milano contract is very well deserved.
100%.
Also, the other day yesterday after the Poland match, we wanted a little more out of Matias Sanchez.
Much better today,
and we got him much better.
100%.
Yeah, once Argentina really started passing the ball inside 3 meters, like really from the second set on, they were money offensively.
Yeah,
I loved the way they ran the offense down the middle of the court, both middle attack and
pipe. The pipe, yeah.
And
the way they were running it too, with that fastball over top to the outside as well,
it got a lot of easy looks.
Was just giving them so many different options. And I mean, whenever you give Argentina options like that, they're going to be able to score because they're such a highly skilled team.
And I really like the way Mendes used the second setter. Matias Hiraudo is his name. He played in France. He's big. He had a giant one-on-one stuff block against either Frome or Rijkaard. I can't remember which.
Pretty sure it was Rijkaard.
And then he had, I think for set point, he had like a sick one-handed grab to Lozère on the back one to win the set, which were 2 plays that Sanchez just physically cannot make. Mm-hmm. So they used both of their the different flavors of setters that they have really, really well. On the German side, Linus Weber was just a little streakier. I'll pull up his attacking numbers right now. 16 for 34 with 8 errors.
The 8 errors is really the part that kills you there.
Most of those were balls just hit out of bounds. He was blocked a time or 2 maybe, but there were a lot of just pure hitting errors.
You can tell that to me, Weber is very much one of those athletes who's very, very good, and he has that high ceiling, but he just can't stay focused and can't stay there. Like we saw 2 serves that he blasted way out of bounds, way out of bounds,
including match point. That was like on its way to Gatineau on a fly.
Absolutely, you're not wrong. Look at you using the local.
I said that on the broadcast.
That's good, but way out. And so you're putting up 16 points. You're getting 3 aces, but at the same time, like you're making a lot of errors and you're making a lot of bad errors. Right? If you can just take even 2-3 of those hitting errors and just make them into continues, just continue the play, keep it going, Germany's going to be in a much better spot.
Yeah, it's a great point. The continuation play to make him a little less negatively terminal some of the time.
Yeah.
And that level of consistency of his play will really go up. Germany 9 aces to 18 errors.
Not bad.
1-to-2 ratio, pretty good. A couple of those aces were in garbage time though. Still, their serving output wasn't bad. A lot of those came in the first set when they were really just all over Argentina, just earning every one of their points. But then Argentina just kind of figured it out, and important that they did that. Otherwise, 0-2 start with the rest of their schedule, like they were in some pretty real trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting for me. I'm looking at this German team right now, and I'm looking at this roster, and they better figure it out because I don't think they have much else to go to. Right?
That's a great point.
Like the guys on the court better figure it out for Germany, and not try to not have a repeat performance like they did today, because otherwise I think they're going to be in trouble. I mean, is Karliček on the?
Yeah, he's on the 25. I think Lucas Kampa even is on the 25, and I don't think Jan Zimmerman had his best game today, so maybe that helps. But you're right. There's not much else, not many other players that Germany can possibly bring into this mix.
Even if you're going to guys like Schott or like Sossenheimer, you're just adding the same type of player, in my opinion. So it's, Germany, I think, is like we saw the best of them on Tuesday night against Canada, and I think they might start to struggle here. I think they're going to be a middle of the pack team. Don't get me wrong.
That's kind of what we expected. Yeah. And they came out so good against Canada the other day. They really took me especially by surprise. And then the way they started that first set, I'm like, yikes, watch out. I don't know who's going to beat this team except themselves.
Yeah.
They definitely came back down to earth. Germany's next 2 matches are Bulgaria and Serbia. Both winnable.
I
mean, Germany and Bulgaria is usually just a battle of teams who can have the best attention to detail that day, because in Bulgaria's loss to Serbia the other day, they were just sloppier. And Germany versus Bulgaria, they both kind of have that same weakness just a little bit.
Yeah.
So that could be a good match. That's tomorrow.
I would give advantage Germany though.
I agree.
I would give advantage Germany for sure.
And then Germany-Serbia could go totally either way.
I almost favor Serbia in this one. I know it's a little premature. We've only seen them that one time, right? And it was the first match of the tournament. But we're about to see them right now.
Yes, we are.
They're the next match coming up. So I'm really interested to see how they stack up against this French team, because I think Serbia has the power to put pressure on them. Do we want to wrap this up and jump right into the next game?
I think so.
Is there anything
really quick on Argentina? Their next matches, they play Serbia tomorrow, and then they have Italy the last day. And I think they really turned a corner today. It was more focusing stuff on their side, but they were able to roll with the punches that Germany threw early. They settled into the game, took control, and played it at their pace and their style, and dictated that the rest of the way. And I think the style that they play can work if they execute it against really anybody here.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have any glaring weaknesses. And it was the same thing that got them that Olympic bronze. They were just money in side out and in transition.
And also, they're spreading that offense around.
Yes,
you got two guys scoring 16 points, 2 guys scoring 13. 4
yeah,
hitters.
Nicolas Lazo, man, really impressive.
Yeah,
his
absolutely.
attacking numbers: 13 for 22, 3 errors only. Like, that's 40% efficiency, if not a little bit better.
Argentina's really found themselves a nice little piece here.
I like this kid.
And
Yeah,
Nicola,
I really do.
Lazo.
And then they've got even the really young kid, Armoa, is 19.
Oh, wow.
And he was okay.
This one, but I think he's done a good job, because he's coming in both these matches. But this is what we're saying about Argentina, is that they've got so many skilled players coming from that country that they're much like, kind of Serbia, where they can go into the wallet, if you say, or into the closet, and find some good ones. But yeah, moving on to this next game coming up. As I was saying before we wrapped it up, I do think that Serbia has the power, especially from the baseline, to break France's serve receive a little bit. I do think they have that ability to kind of put them in a tough position. And for some reason, and I have no reason to back this up, it's just a gut feeling, I feel like Serbia might have a bit of a chip on their shoulder playing France. I don't know why. I just feel it.
I would kind of like to see that.
Yeah.
And, I mean, way...
I want a fist fight today.
Okay, that can be arranged. The way that Miran Kujundžić served against Bulgaria, that travels against anybody that you play.
100%.
And we've got to talk about the fact that Kevin Tilly is almost definitely not going to play today, if not the rest of this tournament. The ankle injury that he suffered yesterday looked pretty rough, and I haven't seen him yet today. He's definitely not here, but I heard earlier today he was walking around on crutches.
Yeah, that's not good. If you're on crutches, you're not going to be playing. So that's a huge blow for this French squad. Obviously, Tilly, he's an Olympic champion. He's been there before. He's played at so many different levels. So
Yassine Louati is a perfectly good backup.
Perfectly
good.
Can he play at that same level? Can he at that same consistent level that Tilly brings you? So I do think he has like the same ceiling as Tilly, maybe even a little bit higher. He's a little bit younger, and he's maybe a little bit more explosive than Tilly. But is he going to be able to kind of hold things together for them?
Yeah, I like the point about Serbia's service pressure. I just don't see any individual position where they stack up against anybody that France can put out there. I don't see it. They don't have the opposite. I mean, whether it's Petkovic or Meljanac, who's the big like Jason Momoa Aquaman looking dude.
Meljanac,
yeah, who I love, and I really want to see him here. But like you can't say he's better than Jean Patry.
No.
You can't say Jovovic is better than Antoine Brizard. You
No.
can't say that like Kujundžić and whoever their other outside is. It'll be cool to see Kujundžić play, by the way, because he played in France this year.
Yeah.
But like their outsides aren't better than Inga Pet and Duati, and their middles certainly aren't better than Chinese and then Geoffroy is the other guy.
You know, I'm not expecting Serbia to come out and win this thing, but I do think that they can put some pressure on France and make it a little bit interesting. You know,
Ooh, in the chat, Kujundžić apparently going to Poland next year.
That's makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah,
I could
100%.
totally see that. He had a really, really well-rounded, awesome, like 5-tool outside hitter game, and I was impressed by that. So yeah, Serbia versus France. I mean, there you can see the Frenchies warming up with a little footy behind us. They're playing their little soccer thing. I was looking at this game yesterday that they're playing. I can't quite figure it out. There's like it's kind of like a monkey in the middle deal where somebody's in the middle. And
this is classic. This is a
how
classic
does this
soccer
game work?
warm-up. Basically, you can only do one touch. Yeah, they're gonna play one touch, and it's monkey in the middle.
I like it.
It's a classic soccer warm-up.
They're here like an hour and a half before the match just doing this. I love it. They're so loose. They're so chill. Like they're just they don't take anything that seriously. They're just here to have a good time and slap the ball around a little bit and beat Italy 3-0 and you know everything's cool.
Yeah, I mean they are the defending Olympic champions.
Yes, they are.
Miran Kujundžić. Sorry, I'm just pulling up Kujundžić here on Volleybox. Oh, hopefully that.
Oh,
does
Suwałki. That's cool.
Suwałki. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I like that. So, then apparently
And Matías Sanchez is going there too.
Yo, all right.
They like short setters over there at Suwałki, eh?
All right, we got something going on there. That'll be pretty fun to watch. Yeah. So, what's your pick? Serbia versus France.
Oh, France.
Set score?
3-1.
I was gonna pick the same. Yeah.
3-1, but one of them is gonna go. One of the sets is gonna go extra innings, and that's gonna be one of them that France wins.
Okay, I hope so.
The third set's gonna go in extras.
All right, we got the music coming in behind
Yeah,
us.
so
I hope the stream doesn't get taken down.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't get demonetized.
Last but not least, coming up later today, Poland versus Italy.
Yes,
We talked about this Italian team last night.
Yeah.
Because they really needed more out of the second outside hitter position. They really needed to figure out how to take France out of system, which they just could not do.
Mm-hmm.
And the sets were still reasonably close. I think this match honestly could go either way. But if Poland is as good in transition and is as good at all those goofy 50-50 balls as they were against Argentina 2 days ago, or yesterday actually, game over.
I think Poland needs to be really, really bad for this game to go either way. I don't see, based on what we've seen from Italy, like Bartolo has to have a massively better game.
Oh, he will. If he went 3 for 19, you can't really play worse than that.
But like, I just don't see like so many guys on that Polish roster have the ability to bury you and to scare you, right? I look at this Italian roster right now, and I'm not really scared of anyone. Right?
I agree.
I'm not really scared. Like, I don't think Ricine can bury a team. I definitely don't think Botolo can bury a team based off his performance from yesterday. Romano, I think he's very good, but I don't know if he's he's not a typical right side who's gonna be able to go off for 25 plus points.
I agree with that.
I don't think he has that ability. And then down the middle to either, they don't have anything really dominant.
I think Galassi is good, but whoever they put next to that is
Cortesia was all right.
No, non-factor.
Was all right, and then you Scanfarilla's injured. Pincinelli did all right last night when after coming in. But
so another ankle injury. Leonardo Scanfarilla rolled his ankle very early and also left on crutches. I don't expect him definitely today, if not the rest of the week.
Exactly.
So that'll be Pincinelli.
So I just don't think Italy has the horses to run with Poland right now. I don't think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be
a Polish B team.
I think this going to I don't know about B team.
It is a B team.
It's an A2 team.
No, it's not.
Because it's the second players from their A team.
I don't think it is.
Like a B team is like a development team. Right?
I think it's a B team.
No, it's an A2 team. That's what. You've got guys who are like starters here and like starters in Plus
You have
Liga.
one. You have Jakub Kokonowski. That's
like the Canadian B team is a B team with like guys coming out of university who are going to play in the secondary.
That's
events.
a C team.
That's a Nazi.
Whatever.
Anyways, but yeah, I just don't see Italy competing with Poland tonight. I think it's going to be a 3-0 for Poland.
I don't. I actually kind of think it might go 5. Hey, Claire.
Come
Claire,
join
you want
us.
to come on the show?
You want to come join?
I feel like I'm too shy right now.
Why
Come
are you
on.
too shy? No.
Hey, Claire.
Can I just give a quick wave?
Yeah. Hey, there's the camera. Hey, this is Claire Hanna. She's calling this game coming up.
Yeah, how's it going?
We both
Oh my
pick.
gosh, this is so weird.
We
I
both
can't believe I'm
we
here
both
right
pick
now.
France 3-1 over Serbia.
Yes.
Oh, I think both games today are going to be 4 sets. That's all my predict. Just 4 sets. I'm not giving a winner or loser.
Okay,
That's all.
that's
Okay?
a very professional move. I'll see you up in the booth, Claire. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think only in a situation, like maybe Italy gets one set, maybe, but I still think it's gonna be 3-0 Poland.
I kind of want to pick the 5-setter. I think we're overdue for one. We haven't had one yet in all of VNL in either spot.
But I think it's gonna be 3-0 for Poland, because I think these Polish guys right now are so dialed in because they know this might be their only shot at VNL. Right? Because the other guys are coming in next week and they're going to be playing weeks 2 and 3 and into the playoffs.
We
We
assume,
assume,
yeah.
right? So if you're a left side right now, you know that Slivka and Semeniuk are going to be joining the team. If you're a right side right now, you really want to try to cement that third spot.
That one I don't think is going to happen, but the outside hitter point is a really good
Right.
one, and so is the middle blocker point.
And the setter.
And Jan Firle. Dude,
Right.
the way Jan Firle played yesterday, I want him at World
100%,
Championships.
absolutely, and in that S2 position.
Yeah.
So I think Poland has way more to play for than an Italian team who's already in the finals.
That is a very good point. Totally fair point.
And I know it's early in the tournament, but like I think it seems like Gerbic is aware of these things.
Well, he's aware of everything. He's a genius. Yeah, Poland's pretty locked in, and I can see Italy not being quite as locked in because they already are in the finals. They don't have to play for the playoffs.
It's also a quick turnaround from last night's loss.
But they don't bring Simone Gianelli to this tournament for no reason. He will take control of this match the best he possibly can, and I think he'll get the most out of his guys. I don't think he played a bad game last night by any means.
Not
He
at all.
had Botolo go 3 for 19. He had Racine was okay. His middles didn't really touch any balls defensively. Like
Gardini was a non-factor.
Total non-factor, was invisible. Yeah, like Gianelli did what he could. I think
100%.
if he gets a little bit more out of all 3 wings even, this could really be a match, and I just have a feeling that it will be.
All right, we'll see. I think it's going to be another blowout.
Okay.
I
We don't
think
disagree
so.
that much on this show, so I'm kind of looking forward to this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Claire and I, like Claire who you just saw, she and I will both be on the call for that one.
Yes.
Just Claire will be on the call for this one.
I'll be
Serbia
about
versus
3
France.
beers deep at that point.
Oh, probably me too, honestly. So really quick, you want to go over what's happening down in Brazil?
Yeah, do you want to do Japan last night?
Yep.
Because that was one that we went to the bar afterwards, watched some
course.
highlights. Just scroll. Oh,
I've got the stats here. So right now, as of this very moment, Japan and China are tied 1-1.
Okay, there we go.
But
China won set 1.
Yes, they did, and Japan won set 2. But we wanted to talk about Japan versus Netherlands last night because we saw the highlights. We were looking at some of the numbers here. Japan outblocked the Netherlands, Everett. How is that humanly possible?
Because I don't know. I think when Japan is playing teams that are much more physically intimidating than they are, that's when the blocking really comes into a factor. But against the Netherlands, even a guy like Namir doesn't hit all that high, right? His good ability is challenge the block, finding the seams, finding those gaps. And Japan, they read block very, very well. Their blockers close very, very quickly.
Yeah, their blocking fundamentals are good.
They're blocking, but that's
just tiny.
But that's exactly it. They're tiny, but they're not so tiny that they still can't block teams, right? And especially against the team against like the Netherlands, if you're going to be playing against a team like Poland, like anyone with big outside hitters, like even if they play the Serbian team, I could see them getting beat up a little bit.
I agree.
In the blocking, but the Netherlands doesn't really have anyone physically intimidating
Other than Namir.
Other than Namir. But even Namir, as I said, he finds so many different ways to score. It's not about his physicalness.
Also,
his physicality,
the only way for the Netherlands to beat Japan really is for Namir to be unbelievable, and he was just okay. 18 points. His attacking numbers 17 for 31 with 6 errors.
There's a
It's just
stat
not good.
line for super spikes.
So lame. Unbelievably
So
lame.
dumb.
And then the
But
other thing.
Nishida. Sorry, go ahead.
Right. The other thing that the Netherlands would have to do is serve extremely well. And they did not do that. Their ace to air ratio as a team 3-16.
Yeah,
not good.
Not good.
And that lets Japan be Japan. And that's what Japan is really, really good at.
Yeah.
And Yuji Nishida, man, I mean, I make fun of him a lot just because I don't think he really belonged in Italy. But this is where Nishida is super good. 23 for 37 with only 7 errors. That's pretty good. And
I mean,
points overall, 25 plus a block and an ace. Like,
first
solid.
of all, I'll disagree with the fact that he doesn't belong in Italy.
He doesn't belong in Italy.
I do think he belongs in Italy on the right team. And
I
this year he still had put up some decent numbers. But I digress. 7 blocks or 7 errors. I would like to see that a little bit less.
Yeah.
From Nishida. But as we discussed last night, Japan Nishida is
the best one.
Is like the Super Saiyan Nishida.
It's what they get. It's where they get the best out of all their players. Because like we've
100%.
said, Japan is where a situation where the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. They have
100%.
a great system, and all their players' skill sets are maximized. Ishikawa really good last night, even Ron Takahashi. But I want to talk about this new middle blocker,
Murayama.
Yes.
Which he's another guy who's on the roster coming in at 193, which is like 6'3". I don't believe
He
it.
looks way bigger than
He
that.
looks way bigger than that. But he looks dynamic. He looks quick. He can close those blocks. You know, Dan asked me a few weeks ago if there's any big blockers in the Japanese pipeline, and I didn't know of any. Murayama might be their answer to that.
Yeah, he might be a difference maker. Just from the highlights that we were looking at last night, he looked awfully good. A legitimate attacking threat in the middle, and was both stuff blocking balls and touching balls, and that's something that Japan doesn't do that much. And if they do, then their transition offense is awesome.
Yeah, and absolutely. And if they can just add one more piece, might see Japan get pretty dangerous. Right?
It's not impossible for Japan to make the playoffs, especially with the pretty easy pool that they have
I
right
know.
now.
I'd rate them to make the playoffs because Japan is. So the thing is always about Japanese volleyball too. Is
Japan took the second over China, by the way. They're up
there we
2-1.
go. Yeah, I think they're gonna start running away now. Both set scores 19 for them. But I feel like Japan might be the most consistent team in the world in terms of the consistency of level that they bring in and night out.
It's not a bad take.
I feel like they always keep themselves in the mix by being able to catch teams. They're a very difficult team to play against.
They are.
Right? They don't play a traditional European or North American or South American style of volleyball. They play the Asian style, which is fast. It's a lot of ball control. They keep balls alive on defense, and that's frustrating to play against. So if you're a quote-unquote better team and you're just struggling on that night, Japan's probably going to take
Probably
you.
going to beat you.
Right? So I feel like Japan is always eligible for those playoff rounds and to be like to make maybe like deeper runs in tournaments than maybe they should just because like maybe more than they should on paper just because they have that consistency.
Yeah, they're very consistent, but they just have too many teams in the world that they match up poorly against.
Absolutely, yeah.
However, the only team that I would say they match up poorly against this week, because they're playing China right now, we'd expect them to get that one done,
100%.
is the United States.
And even then,
because
we'll see.
their other matchup is against Iran, and honestly, I think I like Japan in that one. So,
yeah.
And that USA Japan match is going to tell me a lot about both of those teams. That's going down tomorrow
on Friday, right?
Yeah.
What time is that at? Maybe we can check.
That is 5 p.m. our time.
Okay. Are you on the Germany-Bulgaria game?
I think so.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I think so. So yeah, there's some decent stuff going on down in Brazil right now. Brazil destroyed Australia.
Yeah.
No surprise there.
We don't need to talk about
No.
it. Sad for my boy Dave Preston, but I also it's kind
What
of
do you
what do you expect?
What do you expect? I mean, it's your first match ever, and you're playing freaking Brazil.
Yeah.
Tough break.
I would love to. I would love to. I'm gonna have to do a podcast or an interview with Preston at some point to just talk about it.
Yeah,
'Cause
I'd love to hear from him.
That experience must be awesome playing in Brazil against Brazil at first.
Ronnie is in the chat. Michael Schofield, Lincoln Burrows. Is that a Prison Break reference?
I don't know. Is it? I don't know.
What is Ronnie? What are you doing? Tell us something here.
We got one comment in the chat here. It's funny to watch French players warm up. Yeah, Ma said in countries like France, training is more chilling side, while Soji said that he started training with Zaxa, he felt like dying.
That's interesting.
That is interesting.
Well,
Makes sense.
That totally checks out.
Yeah.
Yeah, France is super chill, super relaxed. Poland is very regimented.
Clinical. Absolutely.
Clinical.
You
That's
get
a good
the
word.
Eastern Bloc against the Western
same with
Bloc
Italy.
there. 100%.
Italy, very, very clinical, and their styles
But-
not that dissimilar, which is why I'm excited for tonight.
Not as clinical as Poland, though. I
I
feel
think they're
like
more technical than clinical.
yeah,
maybe.
that's what I think as well. Like as we talked about, like just watching them warm up and watching them in practice.
Yeah.
Every touch is perfect. Even them like passing the ball, like on forearm passing, it just sounds quieter. I'm like, how does this happen? Like, how are you guys so good on the ball like that?
Yeah,
and I would think they're almost closer to France than Poland in my opinion.
They just need to get that to transfer on court to a little bit of physicality.
100%.
And
But
that's
they do have the physicality. It's just not here.
Right. That's
right?
true.
And with Micheletto and with
Lavia,
Zaitsev and with Lavia, yeah, mainly those three.
Yeah, they need one more middle as well, and they get that back with Anzani. He's a pretty physical presence.
And Matteo Piano too, who's not physical at the net offensively, but
huge.
he's a fantastic blocker, right? Led the Italian league in blocks this season while playing for Milano. So once they get their athletes back, as we've mentioned before, Italy has the entirety of everything to get ready because they have already qualified for the to the playoffs.
So yeah, De Giorgi's got a very interesting engineering project for how to structure this VNL to see if they can peak for the finals and go and win it in home Bologna. Everything that might be about it. We've got
I think it might be it as
warm-ups getting going. I want to watch some warm-ups, and I don't want the stream to get taken down because of the music in the background.
Yeah, I think it's not loud enough, and we're on these mics as opposed to like me filming with my phone, which is where it got taken down. But I think the beer sales might be open now.
Oh, terrific. So, yeah, France versus Serbia going down right about an hour from right now, live on Volleyball World TV with Claire Hanna on the call, and then 7:30, which is 4 hours from right now.
58 minutes. I'm sorry, it's right there.
Get out. Yeah, Poland versus Italy tonight, and we will be back live on Instagram tonight, courtside, and that will be recorded and put up on YouTube later tonight as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So follow Volleyball Source on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram at rstclair1. Everett's getting some incredible cell phone footage.
Sorry, I have to stop.
Wait, is that
here.
a real compliment from Ronnie?
Yeah, Ronnie is complimenting us.
Jokes aside, I love that you guys finally have the moment that you deserve. No jokes here. This is a good pregame show, and I hope FIVB takes notes. Ronnie, oh, my heart. Buddy, we love you. We like your hostility. We think it's funny, but we appreciate that very much.
We
Thanks,
actually
man.
legit had this conversation on the way to lunch today about how we love Ronnie in the Discord.
We love Ronnie. Also join the Discord.
Yes.
It's been a big week for the Volleyball Source Discord. The link is in the description.
I can't keep up with it.
Oh, dude, there's so much going on.
There's too much. It's getting to that point now where before we were just like a small little community. Like I remember being stoked about reaching 100 people, and now
we're almost 600.
We're almost at 600 people now. So yeah. Join the Discord and come hang out. Wait,
there's some info about someone coming in place of Lucarelli. I don't know. I do know Lucarelli's injured.
Oh,
I just don't know the protocol for replacing him on the roster. I don't know if they'll be able to do that this week or not.
No, I don't think so either.
Okay.
I think Was it before or after?
I think it was before, but I really don't know. I mean, we're here in Canada. We're not in Brazil, so I don't have any inside info.
But if you want to send us, let's go.
The Discord is the place for that. That's where we get a lot of inside info. So join us there. We'll see you live on Instagram later tonight. Enjoy the matches, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go get some beers.
Peace. Beers.